Hey friends, welcome to Tea Time on Tuesdays at 2. Today, friends, we're going to talk about the 80s, all about the 80s, and I'm going to reveal to you some of the things that really scare me. As an adult, I feel like even though we can admit that things scare us, we are encouraged to be strong enough to be able to talk about them. If any of you are watching live, you're going to see a red live above my head. Feel free to leave me a question or a comment. I would love to hear from you so I can kind of focus on your strength and not all the things that scare me. If you don't see the red above my head, you are watching on the replay, so feel free to use the hashtag replay. Friends, normally on Tea Time on Tuesdays, I do a deep dive into a specific topic, specifically about tea. Well, I don't always live looking like this, but the 80s did totally affect my life and my tea time and the things that scare me. So let's dive into that. Let's dive in. Who remembers what they were doing in the 80s? I would like to tell you that I'm young enough that I don't remember them, but that's not true whatsoever. I was totally affected by the 80s. A couple of things that affected me in the 80s, definitely music and movies. Yeah, and during this stay-at-home period of time, I've got to taken some time to kind of check out some of the old movies that I must have watched a gazillion times in the 80s, but I had completely forgotten them. So, first of all, Karate Kid. Let's talk about it, Daniel-san. Oh my gosh, right? Woo! What did we learn from Karate Kid? We learned to fear bullying, and we learned to have a fear of failure. He was not going to give up, was he? No, because that's what this 80s kid got from that. I do. I still, to this very day, I fear failure. And it could have been because I watched Karate Kid like 100 times in the 80s, and then there were 3 movies. Have you seen the movies lately? There's tea in all of them. All 3 Karate Kid movies, there's tea. They drink tea. Why? Why is that? Because Japanese culture is totally ingrained in the movies between the characters, their travels, and karate. So yeah, I can make tea work with just about any topic, can't I now? Karate Kid. What's something that you're fear? What scares you? I took a poll just last night, just a really super quick poll, and some people in our Top Shelf Facebook group shared with me some of the things that scare them. And one of the things that was super high up on the list, snakes. Well, guess what? If you are a child of the 80s, Indiana Jones was totally scared of snakes. How's that possible? I mean, all you really need is a can of Aquanet and you're good to go, right? You can have big hair. You don't need to be scared of snakes. Indiana Jones, though, he was a tough guy. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Now, this again might not have anything to do with tea. However, Indiana Jones was a pretty tough guy. He liked to travel the world. He liked to explore. He loved history. And quite frankly, I dig all that stuff too. I have been almost every single place that Indiana Jones went to in his 4 movies, especially the ones in the 80s. It definitely grew my affinity for that. The things in our culture affected my life, but I can't believe to this very day I am still really scared of snakes. Now, little ones, I don't really come across them very often. And by the way, if you have no idea who I am, my name is Joy. I'm the owner of Sub Rosa Tea. I'm not always dressed like this, but I am from Northern Ohio, and we don't have too many snake scares where I live. But do they affect you where you live? I love to go in the metro parks for a walk, and there's a very specific trail that I love. And I only go there when the sun is shining, and it's been shining for quite some time. Once I went walking with a friend, and we didn't know what we were getting into, and it had rained that morning, and the entire trail was covered with snakes. Apparently, they were not cool with being flooded, so they all came to the trail. super not cool. But other than that, I don't see them too often. So not really a fear that I think about too very often. Who remembers in the 80s? Did any of you grow to fear eating after midnight? Did any of you grow to fear water? Don't feed the mogwai, right? That Gremlins movie. The cute little baby mogwai who turned into an evil, awful gremlin just because of water. Kind of silly, right? Kind of silly. Do any of you fear water because of that? I don't. But I happen to live by one of the Great Lakes. I do. I live really super close to Lake Erie. So it kind of just makes me laugh when I think that some people actually have a fear of water. And who knows? It could have actually been because of a movie in the 80s. Hard to tell. Was there tea in that one? You better believe it. There was. Isn't it amazing how much tea was actually in movies? And you might not even have noticed. The very beginning scene, the old Chinese man drinking tea, having a good day. Absolutely. So I don't really have a fear of water. Thank goodness, right? But I can see how it could have been a movie like that. You just never know. Now also, in addition to fabulous movies kind of cultivating my life in the 80s, music was a really big part of it. I remember Janet Jackson talking about control. Control. Isn't that funny? No one, I think, listed control as something that scares them in the poll that I took in the group. But control is definitely one of my things, one of the things that scares me. And as I get older, I swear every week, it gets worse. I'm quite comfortable returning to places that I've already been. I can see them in my mind's eye. I know what to expect. I know the size of the place. I know how many people will be there. I know whether it's inside or outside, what I'm getting into. But being out of control, being completely not in control of my situation, going to explore a new place, traveling, going to a new place, having anxiety about what I will encounter when I get there. They sound ridiculous, right? A normal, sane person wouldn't bother having a problem like that. But as a self-employed person, I make a lot of decisions, and I want those decisions to be profitable. I want to be safe and healthy, and I feel like a control freak. I feel like I always want to be in control. Well, thank goodness for Janet Jackson and her song that came out in the 80s, because this girl, I really do. I have a fear of not being in control. But Janet said, hey, I can be strong no matter where I'm wearing, even if I'm wearing something super, super goofy, right? Like I'm all dressed in the 80s. This eyeshadow, it took me a while, by the way, to figure all that out. Yeah, I did not remember how to do any part of this section. Anyway, what about Mikey? What about Mikey? He would try anything. Is that you? Do you like trying new things? I have a fear. Let's be honest. I have a fear of that too. I'm scared of trying new things. I don't like it. I bought something that was handmade by one of my friends. She works really hard on her business. Everyone loves her products. I wanted to try something new. Did I though? Did I really want to try something new? I'm scared to try new things sometimes. And this product in particular, I couldn't just use it. I had to make a decision about which way I wanted to use it, and I had to take an action before I could use it. And guess what, friends? I've had this product in my life since February. I haven't tried it. I'm scared of trying new things. I will admit that to you. I am literally scared of trying new things. Mikey, though, he'd eat anything, right? He'll eat it. He'll drink anything. Thank goodness I have people in my life who are encouraging me to try new things, even though it scares me. It does. And I was thinking to myself, if I had this unrational fear that scares me of trying a new product that my dear friend made, only because I have to make two things happen. I have to make a decision and I have to take an action. That could be you. That could literally be you. You could be stuck in your house with a bag of our loose leaf tea and just kind of not be interested. You know what tea bag tea is. You know how to do it. You know how it's going to turn out. It's going to turn out that way every time. You don't really have to think about it. Trying new things can be hard. In particular, our tea, the package literally says, make a decision. That's number one. You get to decide if you want to make the tea hot or cold. Right on top, it tells you how to do it. You don't have to figure that part out, but you have to make a decision. And next, you have to take an action. It literally says to do that. Can you believe it? I'm the owner of a loose leaf tea company. And every day that I make myself a cup of tea, I have to make a decision and take an action. But if I have to do it for something else, someone else's item, something else's product, trying something new, it scares me. Well, nonetheless, I hope that even though I could get you into the 80s, back to the 80s for just a few minutes, I'm hoping in this next segment I can take away something that scares you, something that maybe you are fearful of, because it just doesn't need to be that way. That's half the time why I do so many videos. I think everyone knows how to make tea, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. So let's dig in. First of all, can you see what's in front of me on this counter? This is a jug that we sell for iced tea, and I have made iced tea. I put a packet of tea leaves right in with cold water in the jug, and I steeped it cold in the fridge. I don't know if you can tell, I've got light sources above and around and in front of the camera just so you can see the beautiful blue color. But to me it looks a little dark. I really can't tell if you can see this. This is our blue confetti tea. It is the color blue, even if you can't tell in camera. I don't think we need this Aquanet anymore, right? We're not going to get any spiders or snakes in the kitchen, no way. But we do have blue tea. So this particular blue tea, let me see if I can pour this out. You'll see that the flask jug, the lid is keeping all of the tea leaves into the jug, and all I'm getting is this beautiful crystal blue tea. Blue confetti here at Sub Rosa Tea, it tastes like funfetti birthday cake. Isn't that fun? That's why I called it blue confetti. This particular steeping device, we sell this one as well. This one, again, you don't have to make too many decisions, friends. You just open up the packet. This particular pot is a glass teapot. It makes 4 cups. So we're just going to pour some hot water into it. And I'm doing this on camera mostly because I want to show you that hot tea and blue cold tea may yield something different. So let's kind of just wait and see for a little bit here. So for those of you that are here, anybody want to leave a comment? Anyone want to share with me what scares you? I'm assuming it's not tea, but no reason not to do a demonstration anyway. So this particular tea, this blue confetti, is a tisane, which means it's completely caffeine free. Can you see all the loose leaf tea is in here? Loose leaf tea is what we primarily sell. We also sell blooming tea and matcha, but it's not in a tea bag. So if you are a tea bag tea drinker and you are scared of loose leaf tea, don't be. It's pretty simple. We do take all the guesswork out of it. We have the instructions right on the package. This one in particular, like I said, it's caffeine free, but we do sell an awful lot of tea on our website that do have caffeine. But what's nice about the caffeine free teas, obviously no caffeine, no oxalate. So some of you have been told to either cut back your tea drinking or skip it altogether. And I don't think it's actually the tea that they are trying to ask you to avoid. It's most likely oxalate. Anything that you can steep is called tea. So we have over 30 flavors that are completely caffeine free and perfect for even those of you who are trying to avoid oxalate for individual reasons. Now, the other reason I wanted to do this in a video and not in photos, because I wanted to show you what's going to happen to this very blue tea if the lighting is right. I have to figure out, should it be closer to the camera or further away for you to see that it's beautiful blue color, is that I've got some lemons in the kitchen. And I am going to grab a lemon and cut it in half and add some lemon juice to all 3. I'm going to add some to the glass, some to the jug, the iced tea jug, and some to our hot steeped glass. Can you see? Oh gosh, you guys, this is just so beautiful. Let me see, is it better this way? It literally looks like the ocean, not like Lake Erie where I live. It looks like the ocean. It's so, so pretty. So we're just going to literally squish some lemon in, and it's going to turn purple. Again, I am hoping that this translates well into the camera. This turned purple first, and then I kept squeezing, and now it's more of a pink color. And the acidic nature of the lemon juice has kind of floated to the bottom, and so I literally, can you see it? I have 3 different layers in. The lemon juice is heavier than the tea in my glass, so I've got a pink layer, a purple layer, and a blue layer on top. Isn't that fun? This all happens because of the butterfly pea flower. That's literally what it's called. It's a blue all-natural flower. We're an all-natural tea company. We don't add anything artificial. I'm now going to add some lemon to the hot steeped, and we'll see how that looks, how that changes as the lemon swishes around. Ooh, that's fun. So the purple, as I was doing it, I could literally see the purple being drawn from the top of the teapot down to the center, and now it has swished all the way around, and I can still see beautiful, beautiful layers. Pink on the bottom where the heaviest of the lemon juice is, a purple layer, and a blue layer. Now, while I am still here dressed in the 80s with all of my purple garb on, I do want to make sure that you know about our tribute to the late musician Prince. Yes, friends, I am talking about the tea that we call Purple Rain. I introduced purple tea a couple of years ago. Purple tea has anthocyanins, which are anti-cancer health benefits. Purple tea is really a specific type of tea. It grows in Kenya, and it is literally purple. It's a different type of tea, just the way green and white teas are also types of teas. So purple tea has anthocyanins, so we love to use it. It does have caffeine, and we added lemon and elderberry to the purple tea. I introduced the blend to our top shelf group members, and I asked them, what should we name this new purple tea? I sent out samples. I asked them all to taste it, to try it, and Purple Rain was the winner. So we do have an awful lot of tea drinkers in our community who love the 80s as much as I do, and we named our purple tea Purple Rain. So if you haven't tried it, it's definitely a great one. It's tangy. It's definitely not too floral, but it is tangy and fabulous. It's almost like tantalizing on your tongue. It's good hot. It's good cold. It would definitely be one to try. And the Purple Rain, it's great for your immune system. It's got tons of antioxidants and other vitamins and minerals, health benefits from the elderberries. So we do hope that you will try it. Thank you, friends, for watching today's episode of Tea Time on Tuesdays at 2. I love that you took this journey back to the 1980s with me, and we do hope that you will try some of our loose leaf tea in the future. No matter what you do with the rest of your day, have yourself a cup of tea and take care of you. Bye-bye, friends.